So I love to play with my horses at liberty, and they do get a little bit bossy. So it's important that you still own your personal space when you play with them at liberty, because they can get rambunctious, like they're youngsters playing with you, and you know, maybe rear up or kick out, and you want that theatrical behavior from a liberty horse. You don't want a liberty horse to be super boring and not have any character. Okay, here he likes to play, you know, he's a stallion, but he also likes to decide for himself what to do. So with different horses, it'll take shorter or longer periods of time to get them to lock on to you. And we'll do a separate video with another horse that doesn't know how to lock on liberty-wise, and show you how to work the different sides and the changes of direction, how to draw the horse to you like this. Yeah, whoops. Yeah, keep it running. Yeah, good. It's got tons of energy. So, yeah, good. So in the beginning, yeah. So in the beginning, you want to work in a small space because you want to teach the horse how to stay with you. But after a while, it's fun to work in a bigger space where the horse has the choice of running off or coming back or whatever, and you just want to play with the ability to draw him in magnetically. So here he hasn't been out for a few days, so he's just having tons of fun jumping around, but I want him to come back to me. So that's my main purpose when I'm first. Yeah, good boy. When I'm first working the liberty exercises and the trick exercises, whether or not the horse stays with you all the time is something that you build on. And also, he's very fresh today, so don't have a super fresh horse. But at the same time, you want this energy, and you want to draw him in. Yeah, good boy. Okay, so it's mainly the joy of playing and of being with you. And then I keep moving in these sort of figure eights or circles. And I can, you know, speed up a little bit. I can change directions. Any of these things, keeping the horse with me. And here he's asking for cookies. He's not going to get one just yet. So, you know, cookies are for reinforcement, telling him he's a good boy, but eventually, you know, the horse should want to be with you whether you have cookies or not. So I start, you know, using more and more time where I, you know, before I give him a cookie. And he should stop, you know, just as easily as me, move just as easily as me, keep his face closest to me, not run me over with his shoulders, and not want to kick out of me. If he tries to kick out, then there's not enough respect, and I should send him away out of my space again. Because again, your goal is not to have a dangerous horse close to you who's acting up and everything. Your goal is to have an expressive liberty horse that is still behaving itself and where things are still safe. If he wants to lay down while he's doing all these things, I'll try to cue him so that everything is still working as though I'm the one asking him to do it every time. Here, if he ignores me, I kind of walk towards his haunches, try to drive them a little bit, and then I walk away, try to bring him to me. Okay, you're a good boy. So I like to develop the play and curiosity in the horse. And just you being with your horse. I find that a lot of times people, when they're with their horse, they only come to, you know, ride or whatever. And it's not very relationship building with the horse. If you never come to just be with the horse for the sake of the horse will have no reason to want to be with you. Because the only reason you're coming is to work them. and that's not very enjoyable for the horse, unless that work is very, you know, like lightness and things like that, where the horses learn to, you know, carry themselves correctly so that things become a lot more enjoyable for them. It certainly helps a lot, but it's still work. It's not so much play. And we want to develop the play so that your horse wants to be with you, but still in a respectful way. Okay, so we work a little bit back and forth and back and forth. Yeah. If he tries to put his mouth on me or anything like that because he's a stallion, then I'll just have my whip here as my security net. He can touch me, but no teeth. Yeah. So I have different rules. My horses are allowed to be affectionate, but the second they make a mistake where they actually do something that is out of bounds, then I immediately correct them. I can back them up. I can send them away. Any of those things. But usually they're very respectful and nice, but playful. I want them to be playful. Okay, and draw him in. So backing up, and I look down a little bit away from him. Lots of praise. Good boy. And then I walk circular all the time. So here I'm going to start walking towards his hindquarters, and as soon as he brings his forequarters with me, I walk away again. So he kind of did a turn on the haunches, and at that moment I have to give him space to turn towards me. So I might make sure that my body language is not blocking him in any way. Okay. When my shoulders are very square on him, it can be quite offensive to him body language wise. So I try to keep a more passive shoulder, asking him to come more with me. And if he ignores me, that's when I can turn my shoulders towards his hindquarters to get them to move away from me. But I won't get his front end to move away from me unless he's, for instance, coming at me in an aggressive way with his shoulders, in which case I will. Yeah, so there, like for instance there, and I then draw him to me. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so just having a little bit of fun with your horse, moving towards him, approaching him when he lay down. So even if he doesn't lay down, it's fine, but I'm just giving the cue. I'm sort of stroking the ground and giving the verbal command. Good boy. Nope, don't play with the microphone. There we go. Yeah, so I stay passive in my body language when I want him to come towards me. I retreat. When he's not listening to me, I approach. That was what I was going to say a moment ago. Is here, for instance, he's not listening to me, so I'm not going to retreat. I'm going to approach. Now I'm going to retreat in order to bring him to me. So it becomes a magnetic game of pushing and pulling the horse back into you just from a sense of energy. Okay, but in the beginning, do it in a small area, smaller than an arena like this, so like a round pen or a little square pen. Enough space for where the horse can play around and kick out and stuff like that without you being in the danger zone, but small enough for him to not really be able to get away from you. Because then he will, in the beginning, horses will evade or whatever, or run away and look at other horses and lose their interest. So you want to have him in a small enough enclosure that you can keep communicating with him, because otherwise he just disconnects. And a lot of horses do that in the beginning because they don't know how to connect with us. And so you need to play with the horse and connect with him, and have him as more as a friend than just a riding tool, so to speak. You want him as a friend, but you want him to be a respectful friend. So a really good friend is respectful and not dangerous or anything like that, but you can have fun with them. Okay, so he's your friend and partner, you're his friend and partner, but also his leader. So anytime he steps out of boundaries, you have this whip for a reason. You can stick it out and ask him to stay out of your personal space. So I can back him up a little bit. There we go. Or I can bring him forward a little bit, okay? If he gets in doubt, I move into my circle. There, and then I bring him to me. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Yes. Okay. And then eventually you start to take the treats away and you just develop your magnetic energy of pushing them in and pulling them back in again, or pushing them out and pulling them back in again. And it just becomes a really nice game, but it stays safe. That's the most important thing, that it stays safe. Now when you have a horse, like for instance a stallion likes to smell what's on the ground here and what are the droppings from other horses, etc. That's a time where, right now he's pretty nicely locked onto me, but I won't allow them to do that, because then they're always going to be doing that. So at a time where he wants to sniff the ground when he should be looking at me, like there, I'll immediately get aggressive and then I'll back off again, okay? So that he knows that he should be paying attention to me and not to other distractions. Or if there was a horse that went by and he ran over there, that would be also my cue to immediately get more aggressive in my body language, drive him around and then get him back to me. So it's just a question of keeping your horse more focused on you all the time. If you really want to develop the great Liberty horse and develop the relationship between you guys, then just focus on really growing your horse's ability to focus on you and make yourself interesting, make your movements interesting, the things that you do, so that if you walk very carefully, the horse probably won't want to follow you. You know, walk more with purpose, so that he can feel that you're going somewhere, something that might be fun for him. You know, if he wants to play with my whip here, he can. It's also a great thing for trick training, is teaching your horse to pick up things. If your horse has a natural knack for doing that, it's very easy to do it. But yeah, I just want to encourage you guys to play with your horses, but stay safe. Always have your whip with you so you can keep your personal boundaries, and don't be afraid to tell the horse to get away. If the horse is getting too rambunctious or naughty or any of those things, then maybe go back to doing some natural horsemanship groundwork, reestablish your leadership. Or if you feel comfortable, then reestablish the leadership right here and then go back to working the liberty work. But develop a relationship with your horse and have fun with your horse, because he'll live a long time if you take good care of him, and it's great to have him as your friend during that time, and have him as a true friend, so to speak. Okay, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video.